Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a calm and clear moment today. Take a slow breath and allow your mind to feel a little more focused. Have you ever tried to speak English but felt like your thoughts were too slow? Like you knew what you wanted to say, but the words did not come out quickly enough? You understand English. You know vocabulary. You can make sentences. But when it is time to speak, something feels delayed. You think in your language first, then you translate, then you try to speak. And in that process, you lose time. You hesitate. You pause. And sometimes, you stop completely. And in that moment, you may feel something frustrating. Why is my thinking so slow? Why can I not think in English faster? Many learners experience this problem. They study English for a long time. They improve their understanding, but their thinking speed does not change much. And this creates a gap between knowledge and use. Because knowing English and thinking in English are different skills. Some people believe they just need more vocabulary. Some think they need more speaking practice, so they continue studying. They learn more words. They practice more sentences, but their thinking process stays the same because the real problem is not knowledge. It is processing. When you think in your language first, your brain uses a longer path. Idea, native language, English, speech. This takes time, and this creates delay. But when you think directly in English, the path becomes shorter. Idea, English, speech. And this reduces hesitation. Another important idea is familiarity. Your brain works faster with familiar patterns. When something is familiar, it appears quickly. When something is unfamiliar, your brain searches, and searching takes time. Another key point is automatic response. When you think in English faster, you are not translating. You are reacting. You hear something. You respond. Without stopping. This is how natural communication works. Another important idea is simplicity. Many learners try to think in complex sentences. They want to express everything. But this slows their thinking because complexity requires more processing. But simple ideas are easier to form quickly. Another key point is mental habit. Your brain is used to thinking in your native language. This habit is strong. So when you try to switch to English, it feels unnatural, and your brain resists. But habits can change with repetition, with practice, with time. Let me share a simple example. There are two learners. The first person studies English every day. They learn grammar. They memorize vocabulary. But they always think in their native language. When they speak, they translate. They hesitate. Their speaking feels slow. The second person studies as well, but they do something different. They try to think in English, even in small ways. They use simple thoughts. I am tired. I want coffee. It is cold. They repeat this every day. After some time, their thinking becomes faster because their brain gets used to English patterns, and their speaking becomes smoother. Why? Because they changed their thinking habit. Another important idea is exposure. If you only study English, your brain does not learn how to think in it. But if you are exposed to English often, your brain begins to adapt. It begins to expect English, and expectation increases speed. Another key point is pressure. If you try to think perfectly, you slow down. If you allow simple thinking, you speed up. At this point, you may begin to see something clearly. Thinking in English faster is not about intelligence. It is about training. It is about habit. It is about repetition. But there is still something important we need to understand. How can we train our brain to think in English more quickly and naturally? How can we reduce this delay and respond faster? And this is where the story begins to go deeper, from translation to direct thinking. Now that we understand that thinking in English is about processing and habit, we can begin to explore how to train your brain step by step. The goal is not to think perfectly. The goal is to think quickly and naturally. The first step is to start with very simple thoughts. Do not try to think in complex sentences. Do not try to express everything. Begin with small ideas. I am hungry. It is quiet. I feel tired. These simple thoughts are easy to form. And when something is easy, your brain uses it faster. The second step is to reduce translation intentionally. When you notice yourself translating, stop. Try to express the idea directly in English, even if it feels incomplete, even if it feels simple. This trains your brain to take a shorter path. The third step is to use daily situations as triggers. Your daily life is full of small moments. Use them. When you wake up, think in English. When you walk, describe what you see. When you eat, express your thoughts. These small triggers create repetition, and repetition builds habit. The fourth step is to repeat familiar patterns. Do not try to create new sentences every time. Use patterns you already know. Repeat them. Change small parts. I like this. I like that. I like this place. This builds speed. Because your brain recognizes the structure. Let me share a simple example. One learner tries to think in long sentences. They want to sound natural. They want to be correct. But this creates delay. They stop often. They think too much. Another learner uses short patterns. They repeat simple ideas. They continue thinking. After some time, their thinking becomes faster because they trained their brain to move quickly. The fifth step is to accept incomplete thinking. Your thoughts do not need to be perfect. They do not need to be full sentences. Even small fragments are enough. This reduces pressure, and lower pressure increases speed. The sixth step is to connect thinking with speaking. Do not keep your thoughts inside your mind. Say them. Speak softly. Whisper if needed. This connects your brain and your mouth, and this strengthens your ability. The seventh step is to practice quick response training. Ask yourself simple questions. What am I doing? How do I feel? Answer immediately. Do not wait. This builds reaction speed. The eighth step is to use repetition with time pressure. Give yourself a short time. Think quickly. Say something, even if it is simple. This trains your brain to move faster. Another important idea is mental flexibility. If you cannot express something, change your idea. Use simpler words. Use a different structure. This keeps your thinking moving. Another key point is consistency. Thinking in English is a daily habit. It grows through repetition, not through one long session. Another important idea is patience. Your brain needs time to adapt. At first, it feels slow. It feels unnatural. But with practice, it becomes easier. At this point, you may begin to notice something different. You think faster, you hesitate less, and your ideas appear more quickly. But there is still one important part left. How do we make this fast thinking stable? How do we use it in real conversations naturally? And this is where the story moves forward. From training your mind to using it in real time. So now we come to the final part of this story. How can you use fast English thinking in real conversations? Because training your brain is one step, But using it in real time is another. Many learners improve their thinking during practice. They think faster. They form ideas more quickly. But when they enter a real conversation, something changes. They feel pressure. They feel nervous. And suddenly, their thinking becomes slow again. So the real goal is not only to train fast thinking. The real goal is to keep that speed in real situations. The first step is to accept simple thinking in conversation. Do not try to think in complex ideas. Do not try to sound perfect. Think simply. Speak simply. This keeps your thinking fast. The second step is to respond immediately. Do not wait for the perfect sentence. Say something, even if it is short, even if it is simple. This keeps your brain active. The third step is to stay in English mentally. Do not return to your native language. If you switch back, your thinking slows down. So stay in English. Even if your thoughts are small, this maintains your speed. The fourth step is to build conversational patterns. Use common responses. I think so. I am not sure. Maybe. These patterns are fast. They require no thinking. They help you continue. Let me share a simple example. Two learners are in a conversation. The first person hears a question. They think in their language. They translate. They try to respond. But this takes time. They hesitate. Their answer comes late. The second person hears the same question. They respond immediately. I think yes. Maybe not. Simple, but fast, and the conversation continues smoothly. Because they stayed in English. The fifth step is to reduce fear of mistakes. Fear slows your thinking. It creates hesitation. So allow mistakes. Continue speaking. This keeps your mental flow alive. The sixth step is to train real-time thinking regularly. Practice quick responses. Answer simple questions daily. This builds automatic thinking. The seventh step is to trust your brain. Your brain learns through repetition. If you practice daily, your speed will improve. You do not need to force it. Just continue. The eighth step is to maintain emotional calmness. When you are relaxed, your brain works faster. When you are tense, your brain slows down. So stay calm. Breathe. Allow your thoughts to flow. Another important idea is consistency. Fast thinking is not built in one moment. It grows through daily use, through repetition, through real experience. Another key point is identity. See yourself as someone who thinks in English, not someone who translates. This changes your behavior, and your behavior shapes your thinking. Another important idea is persistence. There will be moments when you feel slow again. This is normal, but if you continue, your speed returns faster each time. Over time, something begins to change. You no longer translate. You no longer pause as much. Your ideas appear quickly, and your speech becomes natural. And in that moment, you realize something important. You did not need more time. You needed a shorter thinking path. And this is the result of everything you have done. Not more knowledge, but faster processing. So if you remember one thing from this story, remember this. Do not translate. Think simply. Respond quickly. And trust that your thinking speed will grow. Thank you for spending this time with the story. And as always, see you in the next story.